One of the things that I really enjoy photographing is waterfalls. There's something about waterfalls that really kind of draw us in, and they really can be quite interesting as a subject. Now, quite often, one of the things that we discover is we'll set up our tripod, we'll take a few shots of a waterfall, maybe we'll do a silky waterfall, maybe we'll do something a little bit more realistic, but we tend to just look at the entire waterfall without looking at a lot of the details. I think sometimes when we look at the details, we make use of our zoom lens to be able to zoom into some of those. We can get some very interesting, in some cases abstract photos that are even more interesting than the overall waterfall itself. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I go about doing that. What I'm seeing with this is actually a fake waterfall. They turn it off in the wintertime, but it is actually quite nice the way they have it set up. It also has a lot of challenges in terms of trees, so talk about how I go about looking for some of those details within a waterfall. So the challenge that I'm running into here is the fact that I've got some tree branches really close to the front of the waterfall. That's going to make it a little bit challenging, but I can probably find a spot down low that I can get the waterfall itself. But as I'm looking around, I can also see that there's some rather interesting rocks in that. There's one with moss on it close up to the waterfall. If you look down towards the bottom of the frame, you'll see that there are several that we've got water flowing through that's causing kind of an interesting pattern. And I think both of those could make some really good subjects. And so as I zoom in, I can see I have kind of an interesting sort of thing happening really right here. And I think if I just come up just a little bit, probably something right here, this is going to give me a rather interesting looking photo. And so I think I'll probably start doing some things with that one. And then I'm going to then work my way down and then look at this area right here. And I think there's probably been a few rather interesting compositions that I can get with this as well. So let's start first with the big rock. So I already showed you this photo, which I really like. It really makes that moss-covered rock the main subject, but I thought maybe pulling back a little bit and showing it in context of the entire waterfall might make some sense. And then going in for more of the details, as I notice those different areas with the water flowing over the rocks, I thought could also make for some pretty nice, almost abstract looking photos. And so I tried that both from a portrait as well as a landscape perspective. So here's another thing that's literally right at my feet, and I think this is actually pretty interesting too. Just a couple of rocks with some water going through it, and there's another rock that's causing the water to just bubble up a bit. So I think I could probably do some kind of interesting things here as well. And this is where I'm going to actually take a little bit advantage of the glare that I'm getting from the light actually on the water, because that's going to actually add some lines and some detail to the flow. When I first shot this, I actually went in, I think, a little bit too tight. And so pulling back a little bit, I think I like this a little bit more. But then I noticed just with the way that the rocks were kind of sitting there, I think this composition was actually my favorite of the three. Just below those rocks, there was another drop off, and I found quite a few other pretty interesting compositions there as well. And so these are the other shots that I came up with. Well, I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please go ahead, give it a like. If you'd like to know about more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am going to reduce the number of videos I'm producing per month. I want to go for a little better quality, so I don't want to rush them quite as much as I have been in the past. So it's probably going to be more of a once a month type of cadence, maybe twice depending upon the individual month. So we'll just kind of see how it goes and just kind of continue to adapt from there. But it has been 1 year so far. Been doing a lot of experimenting, trying to figure this stuff out, and basically I haven't figured out much. So just going to look at quality and just learning more about video. Thanks. Bye.